because their husbands worked so hard. And if they didn't commute by a limousine and a chauffeur, then they got onto the trains at 6 o'clock in the morning. They had to walk from their homes. There was no transportation, public transportation. And they had to come home around 7 o'clock. They worked themselves to death, and that's why there's so many widows in Scarsdale.
Development of humor.
Here's the greatest development of the whole period. Humor. Glendora started collecting jokes. Glendora wrote down the jokes that she had written over the years, and she got a beautiful collection of jokes. And she would tell a joke on every encounter. She made it a rule never to have an encounter without a joke or two. And you know what this turned out to be, why it turned out to be a good thing? Because every one of those jokes was told over and over again. And the response to those jokes was measured. And the ones that were always laughing, that made people laugh, they stayed in the collection. And the other ones were not told. And this is a funny thing. Laughter is like music. There's something in you that's godlike. That's laughter. That's humor. Just as if you respond to rhythm, beat, just as you respond to the octaves, and anything not an octave is strident, just as that is a thing that's inside of you, humor is a thing inside of you. It's an interesting thing. And we knew very well what was funny and what wasn't funny. And we didn't tell anything that wasn't funny. So this was a great development.
Character generator.
The cannon, the little cannon, had an attachment that was a character generator. And I could put people's names on the screen. Isn't that something?
Oh, wow.
What else, dear?
Oregon County Center.
The county center in Westchester wanted to be refurbished, and there was an organ there, a very large organ. And some two men decided that they would give a final concert before that organ was dismantled. And it was great. We were sitting in the audience, the stage opened, and up came this organ from the cellar. Did you ever hear such a thing? The stage opened up, and up came an organ, and the man playing it all the time. Isn't that something?
Oh, wow.
And I invited them over to my house and did a great interview on them.
Finer.
Paul Finer, I have so much respect for him. Even though he was from Scarsdale, for some reason he wanted to be the mayor of Greenburgh, which is several suburbs, several of them, in a very populated and wealthy section and very successful. And he worked on that until he got elected. And that's all he's wanted to be all his life. He never wanted to go any farther. It wasn't a stepping stone. He just wanted to be the mayor. He's still there today. And he intervened for a friend of mine just last week who was being evicted. And he told the judge, take it easy on these people. They're 90.5 years old. Take it easy, he told the judge. Isn't that nice, honey?
Yeah, that is.
What's next?
Platinum Mile.
The Platinum Mile went from White Plains to Harrison. And here's what was, General Electric was there. Nestle's was there. IBM was there. All these top Fortune 500 companies had offices all along the Platinum Mile. Wow. What else do we have, dear?
Brokaw.
Tom Brokaw?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I called, and again, I asked for Tom Brokaw, and again, the person I called answered, and it was Tom Brokaw himself. And I said, would you go on the TV and tell a boy or girl how he can grow up to be a newscaster. Well, Tom Brokaw is very natural. He's very down to earth. There's no pretense in him at all. Do you remember him? He did the 6 p.m. news on WNBC TV, and they promoted him to the night news network. And he said, sure, he would do it. But he forgot. He forgot when I went to do the interview, and I never could track him down again. But anyway, I liked him.
Jokes.
Jokes. I think we covered jokes.
Yep. Franklin baseball.
Franklin was an avid baseball fan. He never followed a team. He was never the fan of a team. He was always a fan of some baseball player. And he would watch that baseball player's career and see how he developed.
300.
Well, we couldn't seem to sell any more $10,000 packages. Oh, did I tell you we sold one to IBM?
No.
Yes, we did. The copy machine. I think I did in an early one before you were here, dear. I think we did it yesterday. Texaco, IBM. So we went down to $300 packages, and even then we had a hard time selling them. But I would say we sold about $250,000 worth of TV packages. And let me tell you how much airtime I bought, TV airtime. $627,000
Oh my goodness.
worth of TV airtime I bought over that period. There was something else I was going to tell you. That wasn't my concern. My concern was to get the humor and the goodwill and the good cheer out to the public, and I wanted to get it on network television. So I had a thing called Glendora Cheerful Look at Life, and I would tell 5 or 6 jokes, and then I would say, this 30 seconds of good cheer was brought to you by Texaco, and Texaco bought it. And then I had another one, this 30 seconds of good cheer and humor is brought to you by Maxwell Coffee. And also Polaroid land camera bought it. And also Quaker Oats bought it. And somebody else. I'll have to get back to you on that one, folks. Some great big company. Wasn't that nice?
Yeah.
And that whole idea, and the news was so somber. The news was so somber. I thought it would be so nice just to have 5 minutes of good humor. And I couldn't sell that package. And I had it all ready. It was beautiful. It was exactly what people needed. Okie doke, where are we today in my bad writing?
Hat and glove.
Where?
Hat and glove.
Oh, this is when the costume started. I started wearing a hat on TV in the days when women didn't wear hats. They still don't wear hats. And I started wearing a necktie because men stopped wearing neckties. And I said, I will wear a necktie until men go back to wearing neckties. And then the gloves. And that's how the costume started. And it was a good thing, because you'd be out on the street and they couldn't quite remember your name, but they would know you from TV. And Patrick Bellino, who worked for Cablevision, was on a ship cruise out in the middle of the Caribbean one day, and they were all sitting around at dinner, the passengers, and they were asking each other what they did for a living, and Patrick says, well, I worked for Cablevision. That was a great, great big cable system in Long Island. And one woman says, well, what do you do? And Patrick says, public access. And another woman says, well, what's that? And another woman says, oh, that's the woman with a hat and gloves. Can you, any more, honey?
A CBS umbrella.
I had a CBS umbrella. I had a lot of things that the TV stations gave me because I bought so much money. I bought so much airtime, spent so much money on them. They gave me all kinds of things, T-shirts, all kinds of presents. And I had the CBS television, a CBS umbrella, and I was down in the financial district, and I was handing out flyers for Glendora TV ads. And it interfered with handing out the flyers, so I put the umbrella in a place that I thought it was safe, and somebody stole it, and I saw him walking down the street with it afterwards, and I asked him back for my umbrella, and he acted as though he'd never seen me, or so that was unfortunate. There was one other person I wanted to tell you about, and I've forgotten some other famous person. Okay.
That's it.
All right, let's take a break. I think there's another page, isn't there? This is as entertainment, as life, as understanding how life was in the Northeast in that decade, and what life is like in fast-growing metropolitan New York. You know, you have the Bronx, and you have Brooklyn, and you have Manhattan, and you have Staten Island, and you have Queens, all those highly populated people. Why do the dumbest people in the world live in New York City? The population is the most dense. Anyway, I hope that it has been a picture for you and that you've enjoyed it. And I think we have 3 jokes for you.
Yeah, April IRS.
April IRS?
Yes.
Okay, I told that to them.
Oh, college bread.
Daddy, what does college bread mean? It means a 4-year loaf based on the old man's dough.
Parking sign.
Oh, a man is standing in court and he's holding a parking ticket in his hand. And the judge says, "Why did you park there?" And the man says, "There was a sign that said fined for parking."
IRS secretary.
IRS what?
Secretary. Secretary.
I don't get it. Can you get it, folks?
Secretary. S-E-C.
Oh, yes. One secretary at the IRS said to the other secretary, "Look at this one. $250,000 a year, no dependents." And the other secretary says, "Give me his number." Okay, folks, we'll move on to the years 1980 to 1985, I think, next. Grace and peace unto you.